This is Season 6 of Totally Useless Information with Nick and Roy. Listen, laugh, and learn.
What did Ben Franklin do in 1761?
Did he go fly a kite? I don't know. If you have two left feet, do I have an invention for you? Hi, I'm Nick.
And I'm Roy. And welcome to Season 6, Episode 12, where we scour the internet and other sources to get useless information just for you.
Plus, we will answer your questions from our mailbag segment and the headline from news from around the world. The not-so-bright man from Japan marries a hologram.
Totally useless information. It's everything you never needed to know.
Your weekly sweet and savory facts of totally useless information with Nick and Roy. Come and get it!
It's been a while since we took her out of the cupboard.
Yeah.
Hey, that's a lot of cabbage. Scott Robb of Palmer, Alaska, is currently the proud world record title holder of the largest cabbage. He won the title at the annual Giant Cabbage Weigh-Off in 2012, with a mammoth cabbage weighing in at 138 pounds. I'm sure he had a little help moving it around, but 138 pounds.
138 pounds? That's like a 10-year-old. That wasn't a cabbage. That was a kid with a piece of cabbage on his head.
Funny you should say that. I have something about that coming up next.
Okay. You know those fruit snacks that we give our kids and we say, oh, we're giving them a fruit snack. It's so good for them.
Sure it is.
Well, not only are they high in fructose, so that your kids bounce their heads off the wall when they wake up in the morning, but what makes them shine, and we spoke about this with jelly beans, but they do it with fruit snacks as well. What makes them shine is carnauba wax. The same stuff that you put on your car to wax your car is on the fruit snacks, the healthy ones that you give your kids.
Geez, not only do they shine, but they have a great coat. So you talked about a cabbage on your head. Cabbage is high in dietary fiber, vitamin C, vitamin K, folate, potassium, manganese, vitamin A, thiamine, B6, calcium, and iron. Really healthy. Well, scrolls from 1000 BC in China stated that cabbage can be used to cure baldness in men.
And you didn't try it.
No, I didn't. Clearly.
You know, I think 4,000 years ago, there was a book called The Yellow Book, which was made by the Emperor of China at the time. Mm-hmm. And he says in that book, if you eat cabbage every day, you will live to 100.
To 100.
Mm-hmm. So the emperor probably died when he was about 60, but that's okay.
Right, that's right. But so do you at 100? Do you die with a full head of hair?
Probably.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, probably because the Chinese, they braid their hair back then, so you got long braids.
Right. Sure.
Crackers have holes in them for a reason. If they didn't, then they wouldn't be crackers. They would be cakes because they would plump up. But the bubbles in them force them to stay almost like unleavened. And so they keep the thin shape of a cracker. And like cannolis, you know, cannoli shells.
Yeah, cannoli. Love cannolis.
There are people out there that never had it. Yeah, cannolis are an Italian dessert. Mm-hmm. And if you look at a cannoli shell, it has a lot of little crevices in it. And that's from vinegar. You put vinegar in the dough. And as the dough's cooking, the acid and the heat explode and make those little craters.
This is why we say listen, laugh, and learn. I love cannolis, and I've never knew that, so now I know. So thank you for teaching me something for a change, my friend.
I'm glad I did that for you.
Red peppers, not just for me. Red peppers have almost 2.5 times more vitamin C than oranges. So it's well known that citrus fruits are a great source of vitamin C, but there are other fruits and veggies that offer an even bigger boost of vitamin C. Just half of a red pepper, eaten raw, provides more than your requirement for the day. Cut it into crudités for a healthy mid-morning or afternoon snack. So chomp on those
red
red
into what?
Crudités. Is that how it's pronounced?
Crudités. Oh, boy. Crudités?
Crudités. Crudites.
Crudité.
You don't know what that is?
Sounds dirty to me. No, what's a crudité? Like a little half or like a quarter piece? Or
Let's find out. What the hell is crudité? They're French appetizers. They're sliced or just basically raw vegetables is what they are. Crudités, Crudites, and there's an accent over the E, are French appetizers consisting of sliced or whole raw vegetables. Why didn't you just say that?
I don't know.
So here are some examples of crudités. Celery sticks.
They say crudité. And I say oui.
Celery sticks, carrot sticks, cucumber sticks, bell pepper strips. So one of those vegetable platters that you bring to a party or whatever, that's called a crudité. Just call it a tray of veggies. Come on.
I don't like cutting anything shaped like a phallic. Okay. The reason wild salmon are pink is they eat, for the same reason that the flamingos are pink.
Yeah.
They eat a lot of shrimp, and pink shrimp, turn their flesh pink. And in the case of the flamingos, it turns their feathers pink. But get ready for this, guys. Farm-raised salmon are white as a piece of flounder. So the companies dye the hell out of it to make it look pink so that people recognize it as salmon. Ugh.
You're not a fan of
Something fishy.
Something fishy. Are you a fan of salmon?
I like salmon. I tend to buy wild caught salmon because of the adventure of it.
That's right. You go with your hip boots and your net and the hat. Yeah. Okay, sure. Tapioca pudding is a sweet pudding made with tapioca. What a brilliant name, huh? Tapioca pudding made with tapioca.
Sure.
In case you didn't know, maybe you do. I'll tell you I'll remind you. Tapioca is a bush-like plant, and tapioca pudding is made with either cream or milk. Coconut milk is also used, but be very careful. The crop can have deadly consequences if prepared incorrectly.
The crap?
The crop. Did I say crap?
Oh, the crap. I'm sorry. That's what you meant. That's crap could have a lot of problems going
That's
on.
right. Yeah, it could help you. If prepared incorrectly, the crop of tapioca, the cassava plant, can produce cyanide, a deadly compound when consumed. So be very, very careful when you're preparing tapioca pudding.
No wonder Dr. Kevorkian sends it to all the retirement homes.
Oh,
Would
look.
you like some tapioca pudding?
Pudding again today?
And I say never beat around the tapioca bush. Okay, maraschino cherries, right?
Yeah.
When I was a kid, I loved them so much. And Nick, you know that my family had the restaurant and the bar.
Yes.
And I would go behind the bar, and there would be the big gallon jar of maraschino cherries. And I would literally stick my hand in there and grab for as many stems as I could to get the cherries.
Because there were cherries on a stem.
And, right. But most of the time, they don't have stems anymore. But I guess people choke on them. Who the hell knows? Probably a woke liability. But anyway, I would eat them like crazy. And my dad would say, don't eat them all. We need them for the bar. But anyway, the red color of the cherry would stain everything, right? The red maraschino color?
Yeah.
Well, guess what? It's made from carnic acid. It's made from crushing the bodies of beetles called Dilophosaurus coccus.
Wow.
Dilophosaurus coccus. Mm-hmm.
So they're ground up beetles, and they make this red dye, and that's what they dye the cherries with.
When they grind the beetle up, it gives them that very, very powerful red color.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Well, if you're a fan of the...
I don't know. Don't blame me. I just read it.
That's right. Thank you for joining us week after week. We really appreciate your support. You can check out our website, nickandroy.com. We have an exciting new sponsor, which we'll talk about in a few moments. But check out our website, nickandroy.com.
Innovations, ideas. The Totally Useless Information Podcast presents Inventions.
We know by now I am follically challenged. I didn't put cabbage on my head like we talked about in the last segment. But this invention came to us in the 1990s. Spray-on hair. Now, if you can't afford a toupee or Rogaine. Spray on hair is the product for use. Sounds like an infomercial, but it's not. Multiple manufacturers produce variations of the bottled bad boy, which promises to fill in sparse spots on your dome. It is pretty much like spray painting on your head. Would it be more dignified to just embrace baldness? No. But here, because I like to bring full value to totally useless information with Nick and Roy, is the infomercial from the 1990s.
GLH means great-looking hair. Just spray GLH on and it instantly covers your bald spot, leaving you with great-looking hair. And ladies with thinning hair or bald spots, GLH solves the problem instantly. GLH is not a paint or a cover-up. It's an amazing powder that clings to the tiniest hairs on your head.
That's incredible. I've been getting harassing for being bald. I'm only a young man. No more dates without being called old man, but the babes are back.
The babes are back.
The babes are back. The old babes are back. That guy couldn't get a babe if they were passed out and comatose
from tapioca pudding. That guy couldn't get a date if he had cabbage on his head.
But the babes are back.
The babes are back, baby.
That guy couldn't get a date if he was sitting under a palm tree. Which is where dates come from. We came from the food segment, so I figured I'd throw that in there. Do you know that GLH still makes a product, a hair fiber, and it's mostly used for women, but although men do use it, women use it all the time to cover their roots when they don't have time to go to get their hair done.
Wow.
So they have a root cover so that you don't see in the part, you don't see the root. It's a fiber that goes and makes the hair look
extra fiber in your diet is always important, isn't it?
Well, you have to get it, Nick. In 1761, this was my teaser, by the way.
Yeah.
Ben Franklin invented the glass harmonica using. Can you imagine? He called it the harmonica because he used the natural harmonics of the glass itself. Crystal, glass have natural harmonics. If you fill a glass with water and you spin around on it, the more water you put changes the tone because of the density of the water against the glass.
Yeah.
So he invented this machine called the glass harmonica, which would have different notes and tones, and people could play it.
That's really cool. So I thought maybe you were speaking like some kind of Cockney accent or something. Like you were saying, he invented the harmonica. Here's another invention. I don't know if you ever had this. I know you've owned motorcycles. You owned a motorcycle bar at one time. Is that correct? Is that correct, sir?
Yes, it is. Yep, yep.
Harley Davidson had perfume back in the day in 1996.
Yes.
Are you familiar with this? Perfume.
Yes, they're cologne and perfume.
Yeah.
Cologne.
Well, they released a line of perfumes and colognes, right, called Hot Road, which featured perfumes called Black Fire, Destiny, Legendary, Hot Rod, and Territory. Bikers and nearly everyone else didn't like it. So
no, of course not.
The eau de toilette.
Bikers smell.
That's right.
Bikers smell like sweat.
Yeah, nothing can cover that crap up. So the eau de toilette went right into the toilet.
Well, Harley Davidson runs heat of 220 Fahrenheit.
Whoa.
220 degrees. Yes. So when you're riding, let's say in Florida in the summer, and it's 100 degrees out and you get to a stoplight, when you're moving, it's fine because the heat is moving away from the engine. But when you stop, it's hot. And so they even sell a product. It's like a powder and it's called monkey butt.
Monkey butt?
I swear, for riders, because the seat gets so hot that you sweat.
So
I love motorcycles, but it's horrible.
Yeah, exactly. Is that a monkey butt you're sitting on, or you just happy to see me?
Monkey butt. I used to sell it like crazy.
Yeah.
Old Ben Franklin, who is known to be quite the ladies' man. I understand he went over to Spain, and the Queen of Spain got convinced real fast. Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
he was known to be a real womanizer too, but in 1760 and 1761 he must have been real busy. He invented the harmonica, right? But he also invented the first bifocal glasses.
Oh,
he was tired of taking one pair off and putting another pair on, so he kind of he cut the two lenses and made it so that he could peer out of the bottom of the reading glass. Thus you have the first bifocals in 1761 or 1760. They're not sure, but he was pretty busy at that time.
Yeah, they couldn't read it because they didn't have bifocals, so maybe it was 1760 or 1761. True. So let me get this straight. So he was able to go from woman to woman to woman, go in and out of beds and whatever, but he couldn't take his glasses on and off.
But the reason why he was that exciting was he probably attached the string from the kite.
Oh, right.
To his member, and it energized him.
It did. That's right. The first shock treatment for ED.
and going. So
here is my teaser. If you have 2 left feet, which means you really can't dance, have I got the invention for you. These Siamese dancing shoes are specially designed for ballroom dancing. Might fix your problem of 2 left feet. They are featured in the spoof Better Living catalog of 1981, potentially as a joking way to help couples stay in sync on the dance floor. Whether they are mastering the foxtrot or more likely tripping to the ground, these Siamese dancing shoes are for you.
Right. Siamese dancing shoes.
Right. So the way it works is
2 left feet.
Right. So you put your feet in these, and the other person, your partner, puts feet in their part of the shoe, and they're attached.
So they stay together.
That's right. Yeah.
Now I got it.
Yeah.
Now I got it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. In 1859, a guy named Nathan Ames of Massachusetts, he was really going places. I mean, for real. He was going up to new heights in his career.
Yeah. Because
he invented the moving staircase. That's what he called it. Later to be named the escalator.
Wow. So he invented what did he call it? What did he call the invention?
The moving staircase.
The moving staircase to heaven is the song that went out that year. Yeah.
Yeah, and then he eventually calls it the escalator.
Escalator, yes.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't remember. Are you a golfer? Do you golf at all?
I've golfed a few times. I don't have time for it. It's like a 4-hour damn thing.
It is. And during those 4 hours, you have to go, right? Like Mother Nature calls. Especially if you have a couple of beers on the course here and there. You need some urgent relief, right?
Oh, sure. You just walk into the woods and use your putter, so to speak.
No. That's against the rules. No, you get thrown out of the club.
Yeah.
Thank goodness for a urologist, Dr. Lloyd Seskin, in 2010, invented the Euro Club. It is a hollow golf club that allows a player to urinate discreetly.
Into the club
That's
handle?
right. So what happens is he's pretending that he's like lining up a shot like a putt. There's by the way, there's a fabric privacy shield so nobody can see your putter, so to speak.
Right.
So, but the observers who see you thinking that you're just taking a practice swing, but you're really taking care of business. So Dr. Lloyd
Which is great, too, because when you take the practice swing, it's like the shake.
Yeah.
Any guys out there, you know what I mean.
Exactly, yeah. You wouldn't want
the first time I played golf, Nick, I didn't know anything about it. So like by the 4th or 5th hole, this guy that was with this other person that we knew said, "Hey, you want me to clean your balls?"
Whoa.
And I said, "What?" I said, "I'll whack you with this club."
That's right. There you go. Yeah, and it was the Euro Club.
There's ball cleaners. You put your ball in it and you squish it up and down, and there's water in it, cleans your ball.
Okay. Yeah, maybe we'll.
So when you go from spot to spot, you clean your balls. Yeah. You want to get your balls nice and clean, especially before using the putter.
The last thing you need are dirty balls on the golf course. But in case you have to go, thanks to Dr. Lloyd Seskin introducing the Euro Club.
Yep. In 1902, submarines were being perfected. But in order to see, just think about that. They perfected the submarine, but no way to see where the hell you were going. It was a stupid device.
Yeah.
So you just got in it and crashed. No. So in order to see, they had to surface and stick their head out of the porthole and then go forward, and then they could submerge and hide. It didn't make sense because they really couldn't move until this guy named Simon Lake, he used a tube with multiple mirrors on angles so that he could raise the tube and see out, and then they could steer and see and They eventually make torpedoes, and the submarine is born. The periscope, which he called the skylominoscope. He called it the skylominoscope, what would later be called the periscope. Folks, you can't learn this stuff anywhere.
No.
You go to nickandroy.com. We have 100 episodes on nickandroy.com.
More than 100. That's right.
Yeah.
You go to nickandroy.com, check out all the past episodes. You can check out our pictures and everything else as you're listening to Totally Useless Information with Nick and Roy.
You know, lately, Nick, I was feeling really tired, and we spoke about this. My friend Bob introduced me to Athletic Greens. This product is amazing. It's got a great taste. It's like a tropical fruit taste. I take it in the morning. It is amazing how I sleep better at night. My stomach feels great. It's like supporting my gut. I have so much energy. I haven't had this much energy in so long.
Well, it also supports my gut, and I have quite a gut to support. Now, just don't take our word for it. Athletic Greens is trusted by leading health experts such as Tim Ferriss and Michael Gervais. And right now, it is time to reclaim your health and arm your immune system with convenient daily nutrition. It's just one scoop in a cup of water every day. That's it. It's all it takes.
I'm going to tell you right now, it doesn't cost more than like a cup of coffee a day to feel fantastic and great. And they're giving a special offer for us to give to you.
Go to athleticgreens.com/emerging, and they will send you a free 1-year supply of immune-supporting vitamin D and 5 free travel packs with your first purchase. Again, go to the website, athleticgreens.com/emerging. And if you go to our website, we'll have a link there as well at nickandroy.com. 75 high-quality vitamins, minerals, whole food source superfoods, probiotics, and adaptogens, and it'll help you start your day right. Go to athleticgreens.com/emerging.
What happened today is history. What happens tomorrow is history.
Here's a historic fact that I thought was cool.
Okay.
Willis Carrier worked at a paper mill and noticed that the paper was wrinkling due to the humid summer air. The edges of the paper would fold up because of the humidity. So one day he was looking at a glass of ice water that he had and realized that it was sweating. He did some scientific research and realized that the inside the glass, the liquid was still the same, yet there was a big puddle of water around the glass. So he realized that the ice water was taking the humidity out of the air. It wasn't the water that was in the glass. So he invented tubes that he put all around the factory and pumped cold water through it and solved the problem of the humidity. But while he was looking at it, he said, wow, if that water was colder, it might drop the temperature down. Well, Willis Carrier would eventually be Carrier Air Conditioners,
Nice.
the largest air conditioning company in the world.
What a great fact you brought to Totally Useless Information with Nick and Roy, because we just finished doing inventions, and now we're talking about history, and you've kind of combined the two. You are a brilliant man. I don't care what anybody...
I thought it was a cool fact.
I was going to say, it's a cool fact. Wow. This is what happens when you're friends for over 40 years. You finish each other's pancakes. Napoleon, this is courtesy of one of our listeners on our Facebook page, and also we are available on Facebook, so if you go to Facebook and you go to Totally Useless Information with Nick and Roy, you'll find our page. But Daniel did, and Daniel said, hey, I want you to know something. I said, all right. In October 1815, Napoleon was exiled to this remote British-held island of St. Helena in the South Atlantic Ocean. He died there on May the 5th, 1821, at the age of 51, most likely from stomach cancer.
Yeah, they didn't want to kill him and martyr him.
Right.
So they sent him to this island so that he could live his life out there. No. Probably in some sort of luxury as well.
No, I can't.
But, that was a deal.
It was, and I think I can't verify this, but apparently he was taken back to France. But that's where he initially died of stomach cancer. And people wondered why he always put his hand in his shirt just above his stomach. And rumors are that because he had a stomach ulcer and I guess stomach cancer, he wanted to sort of bring some relief to his aching belly.
I thought he was playing with his own nipple.
Yes, maybe, could very well be. We don't know.
You never know, Nick.
No,
you never
know.
So, okay, you know those musical birthday cards?
Yeah.
Okay, so the musical birthday cards, and I'm going to get to this, but folks, listen, also you go to nickandroy.com and you can get the birthday messages that we send.
Yep.
They are sick. They're going crazy. People are going nuts for them. Go on to nickandroy.com and listen to one of them. You'll want to get this for someone you know and love.
nickandroy.com, what we do is it's almost like we put together a mini Totally Useless Information with Nick and Roy show for your loved one, and we bring together all kinds of useless facts about the day that you were born. So go to nickandroy.com/birthdays to get yours today.
Yeah, it's awesome. Check this out. The musical birthday cards that we buy today, well, that tiny little card has more computer power than the entire Allied army of World War II.
Really? Oh, wow.
Yes. Can you imagine that literally they had no computer function other than some minor basic stuff, but that chip inside that musical birthday card has more power than the entire Allied army of World War II.
Wow. This is crazy. So on that island that we talked about, Napoleon, let's meet Jonathan. He's the giant tortoise and currently lives in the South Atlantic island of St. Helena. He's the oldest animal on land, and he will celebrate his 190th birthday sometime this year. Jonathan was born in 1832, brought to St. Helena with 3 other tortoises when he was 50 years old. But experts say he could be even older. Now, this is the part of history that this tortoise has seen. He has seen 2 world wars, the Great Depression. He survived the deadly Spanish flu and now the coronavirus. So his 190th birthday, and maybe they'll have one of those birthday cards they can sing for him that had more computer power than the war.
Yeah, maybe we could do a show for him and send it to him. He's the only turtle in the world that keeps one of his little paws or whatever you call it inside the shell like Napoleon.
Right. That's right. And one other thing to put his age into perspective, when Queen Elizabeth II, the great-grandmother of Queen Victoria, ascended the throne in 1837, he was already 5 years old.
Wow. So he's been around.
Yes.
Boy, wish I could be a fly on that turtle.
He gets around. It takes him a while, but he does get around.
Yeah. Well, we talk about Elon Musk being the richest man in the world. A lot of talk about Elon, right?
Yep.
Or is he?
Oh.
Well, it seems that the fact is that the richest man that ever lived was the Roman Emperor Caesar Augusta.
Ah.
Caesar Augusta not only inherited his fortunes from his previous fathers, but he made a fortune himself. If you were to add in inflation in today's numbers, it would be $0.46 trillion. Ooh. Caesar Augusta blows away 20 or 30 of the top people all put together. So Elon, you got a ways to go. And I guess he could tweet himself to anything he wanted.
Yes.
Tweet himself.
That's right. You can go tweet yourself.
Caesar. I think I'll tweet myself.
Are you okay now? Do you feel better now that you've tweeted yourself into a corner? Wow. Where's that bird coming from? Michelangelo, the great Michelangelo, he had a secret room. 2 meters by 7 meters, which is about 150 square feet.
Did he throw crumbs of bread to the women he had hostage in there?
Let's see. No. Well, we're not sure, but he spent 3 months in there hiding in 1530. The room was under the sacristy of the Church of St. Lorenzo in Florence. He feared for his life, so he went into hiding because he betrayed the powerful Medici family who came into power once again in Florence in 1530. And while he was in there, he spent time drawing, because what else is he going to do? Because, there's no Netflix. Using charcoal and draw images on walls, which he covered up afterwards so as not to show any signs of his presence. The images were uncovered in 1975.
And I believe the Medici family dates back to what they believe is Mary meaning who some say was maybe the wife of Jesus.
Right.
We're talking about not Mary, Mother Mary. We're talking about Mary Magdalene, and they believe that she was a Medici. Hey, you learn stuff here.
That's right. And so do we.
You learn stuff here that we don't even know is true.
It's totally useless information with Nick and Roy. That's why we named it that way.
Okay, here's a cool one, Nick.
Yeah.
The U.S. had the largest army in World War II.
Okay.
We amassed 12 million soldiers. Can you even imagine 12 million? How do you feed 12 million soldiers? But it's just mind-boggling. But here's something really cool. The Germans, a really small country compared to the United States, amassed 11 million soldiers. Okay. But don't think it was that fair, because the Soviets had 11 million as well. We had 12 million, and the Europeans had, they lost count when the French got involved.
Yeah.
But anyway, they had, let's say, 5 or 6 million. So basically the Germans were fighting 11 million guys against 40 million. I'd say they eventually were going to lose.
Just
not a big fight. You don't pick a fight like that, you know?
No, you don't. Dot dash 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 dot dash dash. So, for those of you who understood that, let us know at nickandroy.com.
Goodbye.
Thank you. No, that's not it, but you're close. In 1925, this painter was painting a portrait in Washington, D.C., when he got a letter that said that his wife had fallen ill in New Haven, Connecticut. The next day, he got a second letter saying that his wife had actually died. When he arrived in New Haven, he found out that his wife had already been buried. That's how long it took for this letter system to be carried out. He was so inspired that he came up with a faster way to communicate. His name was Samuel Morse. The invention, the Morse code.
Morse code. Yeah. He invented it 3 or 4 weeks after his wife's passing, because that's when he stopped having parties at the house.
That's right. And by the way, the dot dash 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 dot dash dash spells wow in Morse code.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. I remember having to take Morse code when I was in the Boy Scouts. I got a badge for it, but I don't remember any of it.
Dash dash
dot.
Yeah.
I think dot is A and
dot dash dash this.
Yeah.
Thank you for listening. We appreciate all of your support. We are on the iHeartRadio Talk Network all across Canada, coast to coast. We're on all the major podcast platforms. We thank you very much for joining us. And we always like to hear from you. All you have to do is go to our website. And our website, Roy, is
nickandroy.com. If you don't know that, I mean, nickandroy.com.
That's right.
www.nickandroy.com.
And send us an email.
What's in the mailbag? What's in the mail?
Farah.
Yeah.
I saw that name. I had to look.
Yeah.
I thought I was going to see a poster from 1978.
No, not that Farah.
Boy, do I remember that poster. I used it a lot. Okay, Farah is from Burlington, Vermont. Okay.
Yeah.
She says, I just love you guys, which is a big word, Farah. Well, I got to tell you, we're both taken, but thank you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And sometimes taken aback, but we are taken.
Exactly. Your show is amazing, she says. And well, we think so too, but thank you. And she also says that I sent my sister one of your birthday shows.
Oh, cool.
So this is Farah that we dealt with for a birthday thing for her sister, Joanne. And I'm going to tell you right now, thank you so much. I brought it up in the show. And when I saw the mailbag, I was like, wow, that's amazing. So she got one of the birthday messages that we send for people. And go on nickandroy.com to find it. Yep.
nickandroy.com
Thanks, Farah.
Thank you, Farah. She went to nickandroy.com/birthdays, or if you go to nickandroy.com, look at the top in our menus, and one of them is birthdays. Easy to find and reasonably priced as well. Not bad for two famous guys.
No, yeah,
No,
I know.
exactly. Susanna from Chattanooga, Tennessee. Love saying that. Chattanooga, Tennessee. We love listening to your show every week.
You know, there's a train there, Nick.
There is?
Yeah, the Chattanooga Choo Choo.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yes, that's right. Susanna.
Pardon me. Pardon me.
Pardon me, boy. It's at a Chattanooga Choo Choo. You know what? You know how they have books on tape? I think they should have us recite lyrics to songs. What do you think?
We should ask the turtle how it was to ride the Chattanooga Choo Choo.
That's right. You know what? No, I don't think he could talk to you. He hasn't come out of his shell yet. Susanna from Chattanooga, Tennessee says, we love listening to your show every week, both on the podcast and on the radio, so she can't get enough of us. My cousin lives in Montreal and turned me on to you guys on the radio. Great. What I want to know is, why is the last story in a news program called a kicker? Well, thank you, Susanna. It's a great question. As a matter of fact, the last segment of our show, Totally Useless Information with Nick and Roy, is always news from around the world. It's usually a kicker-type story, a fun-type story. Well, a happy story to end the show, and sometimes they're not so happy, they're really funny, but a short, catchy word or phrase accompanying a major headline intended to provoke interest. That's why they call it a kicker. For writers and journalists, this type of finishing note is called a kicker. Punchy or memorable ending that rewards the reader. So thank you, Susanna, for that, and that's why we call it a kicker, and that's why we end our show every week with news from around the world, as you're listening to Totally Useless Information with Nick and Roy.
And now, for something completely useless.
Lobsters have bladders on either side of their heads.
Bladders on their head.
They have bladders on their heads.
Tell me they pee from their eyes.
So they communicate by urinating at each other.
Through their eyes?
Through their eyes. If you want...
No, do they really?
If you want... Yes. Oh, you were just... wait a minute. I thought you weren't... That wasn't a serious question?
No.
This is how they communicate, by urinating at each other. If they want another lobster to know that they're happy or sad or angry or interested in a relationship, they say it with pee. You know, that could be
it's a pissing contest.
You know, Hallmark really missed the boat in this one. You know, not say, or is it Hallmark, or say it with or maybe with flowers. Say it with flowers. With lobsters, say it with pee.
Yeah. It's like, hey, I'm talking to you, and pee. Oh my God, that's terrible. Why do we eat that? The monstrous looking thing. I mean, honestly, it's like, would you pick up a cockroach and stick it in your mouth? The lobster looks just like that. It's disgusting.
In some customs and traditions, yes. And I'm glad you said that. What a great segue. Coming soon to Total Useless Information with Nick and Roy, a new topic, customs and traditions. What is your useless fact for today?
Customs and tradition, where Nick is usually handcuffed and thrown into a small room and asked questions. Customs. Okay, the Great Fire of London. It happened in 1666. They should have known 666.
Yeah.
But anyway, they had this massive fire, one of the greatest fires of all times. 13,500 homes were burnt, and businesses, of course, and displaced over 80,000 people. But here's the cool fact. Out of all of that carnage, only 6 people died.
Oh.
Can you imagine losing 13,500 homes, 80,000 people displaced, and only 6 people died? That's a miracle. Plus the fact that, can you imagine how many s'mores were made?
Wow.
Honey, go get my weenie.
Today on the show, we talked about food. We talked about history. We talked about inventions. It's time for the news.
And now, from around the corner and around the world, this is TUI News.
Akihiko Kondo from Japan was married to Hatsune Miku. Hatsune Miku.
Akihiko Kondo?
No, Akihiko Kondo from Japan.
Akihiko Kondo.
Right, Aki. He married Miku, Hatsune Miku. She is a fictional synthesized pop singer who's been on tour with Lady Gaga. He claims
she's fictional. She's not real.
She's a fictional computer synthesized pop singer,
So we need to get this straight, because I said to my wife one time, here's the key to the condo.
No. No, this is something incredibly
So the guy's name is Hikita Kondo.
Akihiko Kondo.
Akihiko Kondo. Got it straight.
Right, okay. He claims to be a fictosexual. A fictosexual is only able to be attracted to made-up characters. He's sad, however, not because he's a fictosexual, because none of his family turned up to his wedding.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's sad. That's sad.
Yeah.
Did he have a big wedding, or was it just a very small venue? Because I don't think the fictionary character had many family members.
No,
right?
she didn't. That's right. The light bulb went out. Akihiko Kondo.
Yeah, like little pieces of paper in the aisles.
Akihiko Kondo and his wife, Hatsune, had been in a relationship for 10 years before they got married in an unofficial wedding back in 2018.
So when they traveled on their honeymoon, did he put her in the carry-on?
38-year-old Akihiko said that his relationship with Hatsune had pulled him out of depression, which he also acknowledges that some people find it strange. He knows that his wife, generally depicted in popular media as a 16-year-old with long neon blue hair, is not real, but he says his feelings for her are real.
I'm sorry. I've got to stop you.
Yes.
She's a 16-year-old. He was specific about saying 16-year-old.
Yes. That's
Okay.
not right.
So he's a nut. Okay? I'm just going to say it like this. He should be arrested because eventually he's going to do something very wrong.
No, because...
But I think he was also taken by her sentiment of love. She said, wherever I go, he go. He go.
Well, wait a minute. Why would he get arrested? She's not real. She's fictional.
I know, but just the thought. He should be arrested by the thought police. Come on, read 1984, George Orwell.
While some of the relationships are for a laugh, Mr. Kondo said he was known for a long time he did not want a human partner.
Mr. Condom?
Kondo.
Oh, Mr. Kondo.
Kondo, that's right. He said that he knew for a long time he did not want a human partner. This is because he always felt an intense...
No. Because he probably lives in a very small condo.
Maybe. He didn't have enough room for a real human person. All I know is he says, my love for Miku hasn't changed. I held a wedding ceremony because I thought I would be with her forever, whether my family showed up or not. But what I said was, you know what they say every night before they went to bed. Lights out.
Yeah, but let me ask you a question, though.
Yeah.
She's a picture.
Hologram. That's right.
Wow.
Yeah.
And he was so sad when they had that blackout. I lost her forever.
She's never home because she's on tour with Lady Gaga. They did have trouble in their relationship, but apparently when things started to get better, he saw the light at the end of the tunnel. That's all the time that we have on this episode of Totally Useless Information with Nick and Roy.
But she's 16. He said it.
She was only 16. We will scour the internet and other sources. And
actually, that's his favorite song at karaoke because most of the Asians love karaoke. It sounds like he's not a hologram. She wasn't a hologram. It sounds like he sniffed a gram.
Tell the people what to do.
Oh, go to nickandroy.com, especially, and do the birthday message thing. You got to listen to it. It's great. Also, tell a friend. Share the show with people. We really try hard to make it special for you guys. So, and thank you so much for listening all around the world.
I'm Nick.
And I'm Roy.
Thanks for listening.
Totally Useless Information with Nick and Roy is a production of nickandroy.com. Visit nickandroy.com to access the full library of episodes or wherever you get your podcasts.